Hello, and welcome to Replay Analysis. We have a Terran vs. Protoss here. Does anyone remember what league this was? I can't remember. If no one knows, I will honestly restart it. But otherwise, I'm actually not sure. Dorito, are you here? Dorito, what are you? Are you in here still? Hope you are. It's okay. It says it's Diamond League. It's Diamond. Okay, so a Diamond level lesson here, guys. And we got a Terran vs. Protoss. We'll see what Mr. Dorito Dustin is going for. What's he doing? Okay, we got a Rax and a gas. Everything looks great. Everything's going amazing. I would say. Okay, looks like you're doing it now. The only thing I want you to do that you're not doing is scout, like getting ready to go scout. If this guy's gonna go scout, I like that. So deal with the probe. This is all good.
Oh yeah.
And then definitely go scout. So that way you can. Okay, perfect. That way you can find out if it's gonna be like a proxy, or if you can find out if it's gonna be like proxy tech, not just proxy gate. And if this ever happens to you, 100%, just put your command center down, lift it off, and land it. Don't try to put it perfectly. You'd be better, like you'd save time just getting it down ASAP. Especially if he just eventually builds a pylon. Okay, so we already know he's not doing some crazy aggressive proxy bullshit because he expanded really fast. And now we also know he's currently missing out his gateway. Your scout has been fine. One thing I want you to do now, though, is I absolutely want you to build a bunker. I would say definitely build a bunker. Good job. Good job. Reaper gets in the base. Behind this, you've got your factory coming. You've got your racks with a reactor started. Even more reason why you need a bunker. And then, yeah. Things are looking good. Nice micro on your Reaper. Oh, getting fancy here, I see. Okay. You almost killed yourself by shooting that one time right there. You are fucking nuts, okay? We'll come back to that in a second. Your build, however, looks fine. We'll see what you want to do build-wise. Like, I would say this. Your third command center is going to be delayed now by how early you're taking your second gas. But as long as you do something that justifies taking a second gas faster than normal, or like in a faster sense, then your build's fine. But if you take a third command center and have like 300 gas in the bank, I don't like the fact that you take the second gas this fast. We'll see what you do, but overall your build up to this point is it's honestly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Your Reaper, great micro so far, but you're pushing it pretty hard here. Because if you get shot one more time, you're going to die. And your regen's going to allow you not to die to the shade, but if you try to do it again, you might... We'll see what you do. Okay. Yeah, you're... Not bad, honestly. I can't really say anything negative about that. That was pretty good. And you didn't really mess up your build either. That was pretty fucking fancy with your Reaper. That was nice. And then you died to a second adept. I mean, I can't really... You died going up a ramp. So, there's not really too much to be said about that. That's, shit happens, right? You can't really predict everywhere every unit's going to be all the time. One thing I'll say this though about your build is this though, is you are actually blind now though to what tech he's going for. So I would say if you killed an adept, that would be nice, right? But now you don't know what tech he's going for. So now you're playing a little bit blind. So as long as your build in itself is a little bit versatile, it's not that big of a deal. But if your build is a little bit like specific to dealing with certain like a certain type of playstyle, I would recommend maybe going for a scout in his main. Stop trying to kill the adept with your Reaper. Stop trying to be so fancy with it, and just try to get away from the adept and go scout his main base. Because right now, you not knowing what tech he's going for, we'll see what you do, but it could cause problems for you. Like the fact, like here's an example. Okay, here's an example. What if he went Stargate? And what if he shows up in your middle line with an Oracle? The fact that you don't scout his tech and you don't go for either a Widowmine or a Cyclone is fucking scary. You're going Hellions. So Hellions would make sense if he doesn't go Stargate. Because if he does go Stargate and you go Hellions, you would need like a missile turret to not get fucked by that. So that's a little dicey, I would say. I'm a little scared for you.
Command center upgrade complete. Add-on complete.
Cyclone? Okay, you get into his base and you see a fucking council. I like your scout there. That scout was nice. I like the fact that you found the tech out. If this was an Oracle, though, his Oracle could have been hitting your mineral line before you saw that. So that's why maybe scout with the Reaper. If you're going to do like a Hellion follow-up. And I don't mind that you're going... Like, the fact now... See, like, now you've scouted, you've confirmed what you're up against. Your decision-making now is totally fine. I don't really mind that you're going Banshee. Banshee's kind of whatever, though. Your tank is great. You're obviously making Marines. Marines are just a solid option no matter what. Especially since you're going Bio. That's fine. Banshee is a pretty big investment, though. So, I would definitely, like the way you're playing it out, where you have tanks siege defensively, I would want you to definitely go across the map. Like you have it rallied this way too, so that's good. Like get across the map ASAP and go kill probes as fast as you can. Raven's good. This is a nice follow-up. I like the Raven follow-up due to the fact that it'll give you the ability to detect DTs if that's going to be a possibility. You can get rid of observers super easy, and you can also use your you can either like Dorito cannon his army with negative armor and then have your bio do better, or you can like disable like a Colossus or something if he goes into Colossus follow-up. I like your build's fine. Your build so far is not bad. It's it makes sense. I would say though, if this is going to be your plan, if that's going to be your plan, I think your build would make more sense if you made maybe like 2 Hellions and you didn't throw Hellions away. You like scout with the Reaper, and then when you want to throw Hellions away, you throw them away at the same time as the Banshee. So like one of them is going to do damage. Or for instance, you can make a reactor on your racks. And then you can make a one Hellion out of your factory. And then you could swap it over and make 2 more Hellions out of the reactor and then swap back to bio again. And now you have 3 Hellions, which is enough to one-shot a probe. Like, basically, if you just had some type of a multi-prong, Banshee plus Raven, or sorry, Banshee plus Hellion, I feel like your odds of getting damage done would be a lot higher. I feel like the odds of the odds of this unit getting damage done are really low. The only way I would agree with the fact that you made a Banshee for you to get damage done would be if you play super conservative with it, and then you like really don't ever try to like push the issue. You just pick off like 1 or 2 probes, and then you like maybe you could even scan for not only scouting his tech again, but scan and see where his army's located. And as soon as his army gets anywhere even close to where your Banshee is, fly away in the airspace and just wait until the next big fight happens. And as soon as the big fight happens, pull it back out again and go kill probes again. If you push the Banshee to the limit right now, it will just die. And if that's what it's going to do, it's not worth it. Okay, tank positioning is great. I love it. Yeah, good shit. Your build's owning so far. You're doing a great job. Sick. This would be totally a good time to go with the Banshee because... Okay, so you backed up. I think you should attack with the Banshee right now because he's over here right now with this whole army. You could at the very least force a recall. Here we go. I don't like... I liked it initially, but again, like I said before, I would definitely tell you, as soon as you kill like 1 or 2 probes, scan right here. Just scan in this area and keep your Banshee over this area more or less, because if this guy is in the area with his army soon, he can blink at you and just kill the Banshee. And you don't want to lose this Banshee right now. Killing probes is great. You're killing a lot of probes right now. But you don't want to lose this Banshee. I really think you don't want to lose this Banshee. And you lost the Banshee. I don't think that was worth it. I think that Banshee could have paid for itself a lot more than it did. And now you're getting attacked up here again. Imagine if you pulled the Banshee back. And then this fight happens. And then you test it again later and you go poke him again. And it creates a situation where this guy has to like... micromanage this a lot more, where if you have tank bio hiding behind buildings over here, you don't really have to micro this that much, honestly. But now your Banshee's dead, so I think Banshee could have been utilized a little bit better than it was. A little bit. Definitely could have had a better Banshee there.
Upgrade. Research complete. Research.
Okay, so the fact that you're attacking right now is correct. I agree with it, because you only have 5 racks, a factory, and a starport. Like, you have no third base. So this needs to attack. And if this needs to attack, and especially since you're up against a council, I think you want to be really careful with how you position yourself. You don't want to overdo it. Like this, I think this is already a little scary for you, because I think you should maybe lead a little bit further forward with bio a little bit faster when you move out. Right here. Like 1 Marine stim pack and go further forward faster. So he's backing off, it's fine. Like this is okay. That was fine. The way you did that was fine. I'm pretty scared for you in these fights though. Like, yeah. Nice Raven usage. You can siege your tanks. So I think you got as fucked as you did right there because you didn't really stagger your tanks at all. Like you had 1 like there and 4 were like right there, and then you unsieged all 4 and put all 4 like right there together. I feel like you should have had your tank's a bit scattered, and your bio should have been scattered too. Like some of your bios up top, some of your bios down. Like you could have a tank there, a tank there, a tank there, a tank there, and a tank like right there, or like right against the rock. Like stagger your tanks a little bit more than you did, so they're not super clumped up. And then you don't use like all your bio to go push the bottom. You only have like a little bit of it. That way, if the Protoss doesn't react, you slowly whittle down the Nexus. But if he does react, then you obviously back up that little bit of bio to your army, and your bio is already scattered. That's ready to like absorb the fucking zealots and shit.
Ready for dust off.
Stacking your tanks is how you get fucking owned by charge lots. Like hardcore. Also, I would say another tip I would give you would be right here. Right here. Protoss is currently running to his base, right? I would say it would be in your best interest to scan ahead of where you're about to go when you know there's going to be a fight at that location. You don't need to worry about saving scans either because you have a Raven, so DTs aren't really a threat right now to you, okay? So I would say, as soon as your army gets right here, you are now on his terrain. This is his terrain. You're in his area, his quadrant. You should totally scan like right fucking here. It'll give you a vision radius of like maybe like right there. You'll get a vision radius at the edge of the third base, and you'll see this whole area right here, this whole screen like right, like basically this screen right fucking there. Like if you scan like right here, you'd see a little bit of the third, and you'd see this whole area, this whole area. You'd see all of this, and you would see, is his army about to charge me? And you'd see, is there a third base I should be pushing right there? Because if there's no third there, you should rotate to the left and go this way. And same thing again. If there is no third here, you should then scan probably like right there. So you can see the edge of the third and this whole area if he's going to attack you. Because the reason why this matters a lot is because I feel like you kind of fucked yourself when you dropped turrets. I actually think you lost the fight because you dropped turrets. Like, you put yourself in a situation where you were going to get run over if you didn't drop turrets, but then you dropped them, and that was before you really wanted to take a real fight. And then the next fight, that's going to be the real fight, you don't have any energy on your Raven. And now you just get run over. So, what you could have done instead would have been scan forward, and then if he is there, siege a tank, like, right here. Siege a tank, right there. Siege a tank, right there. Siege a tank, right there. And if he engages you, you're already fully sieged on all your shots. And then leapfrog your tanks. If he backs up, back up, like unsiege the back tank and go forward. Unsiege the next back tank, go forward. Leapfrog towards his base with it. So whenever he decides to pull the trigger, he's always engaging into all tanks being sieged, or if not all but one. And then if he engages, just siege that tank right away. Be like, okay, he's coming, siege. And you'll get way more DPS off on every engagement, every single time, as you're trying to push towards his base. Because this right here, all of your tanks are unsieged, and you're in the middle of fucking the open, and all your tanks are kind of stacked as well, except for that one right there. And then you just siege all of them, and you're like, oh fuck, drop turrets, we don't want to get run over right now. I agree with the fact that you dropped turrets, but I disagree with the fact that you put yourself in the situation where you had to drop turrets. I feel like you could have set it up a little bit better, and not put yourself in a spot where you had to blow all your energy on your Raven right there. Because all that got for you was you killed one zealot, and he ran away. But one zealot is definitely not worth 100 energy on your Raven at all. And you even lost a couple Marines too. And now you get run over in this fight for sure. Because your tanks are all kind of exposed. Because your whole bio army's down here. And they're also really far away. So every time you're engaging the Protoss, you're not even getting tank shots on him. And then you clump up all your tanks and move them down together. This is so vulnerable. If he attacked you right now, you would be fucking dead again. And then you siege up all of them, and it's exactly what's kind of happening. He's engaging as you're sieging. You haven't even taken a shot yet. Imagine if like all these zealots got smashed by all 5 tank shots before engaging. You would have gotten rid of like 3 of the zealots before anything even happened. And imagine if like half your bio army was up here. You could get rid of the other like 3 zealots, no problem. But now, you still haven't shot yet, and your first tank's going to be like dead as you take your first shot. So you just took your first shot, and your first tank's already dead. And now he's already basically on top of you because all your tanks are stacked by the time you take your second shot. And there's your second shot right now. He's already surrounding your tanks on both sides with shot number 2 going off. So shot number 3 would mean as your tanks take their third shot, they're dead. If they even get it off at all. Third shot just went off, and they're dead. Your tanks, and your cover of your tanks was not great right there. You got such little DPS off there. And imagine what if you had your Raven still with energy and like, let's say like 3 Marauders and 5 Marines, and like you dropped 2 or 3 auto turrets to cover the back of the tanks as your tanks in the front are pushing the front and your bio is also pushing the front. In this fight now, like that would have been so much better for you. And again, your tanks are scattered too a little bit more than they were. So you're not getting so like, it's not like when one tank gets compromised, all tanks get compromised. Because now this is now the problem you've now arisen into, and this is a very important aspect of the game. You just went for a 2 base timing attack, and your opponent went for 3 base macro, and you didn't even kill a single probe. You've killed probes earlier to the Banshee, but yeah, you get the point. I forgot about the Banshee, which is why I showed that, and I was like, wait, what? Oh yeah, the Banshee. You killed nothing economy-wise in that attack you just did just now. You killed no economy. He still has a third. He still has all his probes on his third that were there before. So now, you are on the back foot pretty hard because you just lost a timing attack. You lost the majority of your expensive units that were making that timing attack a real threat. All 5 of your tanks died. And so now your opponent has a superior economy to you, and you don't really have superior tech to him. You're going to be dealing with a lot of gateway units with a lot of bio. And this is going to be a huge, hard situation for you now to ever, recover from. Because you're going to always have, you're going to have supply problems going forward, essentially, if this Protoss macros well. Because obviously he's mining at a full base above you. So if this guy wants to make a bunch of fucking zealots and you want to make a bunch of bio, he's just going to be pumping at a faster pace than you are. Straight up. Vibe is taking a very antagonistic approach to his communication style here. Why is he assuming some malice in the person he's speaking to? What? I think I'm being pretty calm about how I'm talking about this.
Want a piece of me, boy?
Ready for dust off.
All right. So now you are. I don't disagree with this. Okay, the fact that you pulled SCVs, so think about it like this. If you were gonna pull SCVs, if that was gonna ultimately be your plan, if the tanks were gonna die, you probably would have been better off just straight up pulling the SCVs at the very beginning, like with your first attack. Also, guys in chat, don't jump on him that hard. Everyone in chat is like literally tackling that guy. It's not a big deal. It's totally fine. I'm not yelling at this guy. I'm trying to help him as much as I can. But you guys don't need to fucking, I'm reading chat as well. It's totally fine. It's not a big deal. Who said it to me? Who was the guy who said it? Mr. Knight? You're totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I have nothing against you. I hope you have nothing against me. And we're all good here. But Dustin, if you're going to take a fight like this is obvious. I would say chances are really high that it's going to fail. Chances are super high that it's going to fail. The reason why chances are high it's going to fail is because this is your second all-in as a result of your first all-in failing. And if your first all-in failed and all these SCVs were there, imagine if they were with your first all-in. If you want to be that all-in against Protoss, pull SCVs the first time. You don't have to pull SCVs like you are right now. You don't have to. Another option you could have had would have been start playing really hyper aggressive with medevacs, try to get yourself back in the game through harassment, and defend yourself and try to take a third. Like, if you can actually successfully kill a bunch of probes and, you know, set that up, you'd be so much better off. Like, it would be a way better way to extend the game, which would make sense that you didn't pull SCVs the first time, right? But like, I feel like the chances of this working are super, super, super low.
Mineral field.
This better be good.
So you scan. This time you scanned ahead. I like it. It helps you understand when you want to siege your tanks. And so far, it's actually working a little bit. However, he killed your Raven. I would say you want to really, really, really be careful with your Raven here. The reason why you want to be careful with your Raven is because he has DTs, right? You know he has DTs. And if you lose that Raven, well, now you have a problem because you have to have a bunch of fucking scans always saved up to be able to make sure that you're not going to get hit by DTs. Another thing you could do would be, if you want to drop some mules at your base, build a missile turret. Build like a missile turret, so you have detection that's like around you. Because you have SCVs that are pulled. I don't like how you're waiting. You gotta go. You need to go. Honestly, not bad micro with your SCVs as well. You're not actually throwing them all away right away. You're kind of backing them up and then re-engaging when he engages you. That was good. Your micro is actually one of your better points, I would say. Okay. Now don't stop. Unsiege that tank right fucking now. Unsiege that tank right now. And push. I would even say fuck the Nexus. Literally fuck the Nexus. Go to his base right now. Like, kill the pylon and maybe leave like 1 or 2 Marines. Or something like do not leave your whole army here. Because if this was a non-SCV pull, I would say kill the Nexus. But you literally just pulled your SCVs. You are time is not on your side. You need to kill him now. So I would 100% say the most important thing you need to do right now is get your ass moving right here immediately and go kill his production and kill his bases as fast as you can. Go to his base right fucking now. Every second you spend on this Nexus is giving him more time to prepare something else for the next attack. You have no follow-up to this, really.
Base is under attack.
So there's the DTs, right? But yeah, so overall, the fact that you killed the third base, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not like, no. I'm just saying, like, every second matters. And you can clearly see, here's another reason why every second matters. This guy is currently trying to bleed out your scans. Every second matters to him because he's currently trying to bleed your scans out so that you're all in as fuck. And at your base, over here, he still has Warp Prism being annoying as well in your base. You definitely want to make sure your base is, I would say you need to rally to like your turret here. Guard your mining base. And as soon as this base, like if you want to transfer SCVs over to here, you could literally transfer all your SCVs over here and guard this base and build a turret there too. That'd be fine as well. But it's defending everywhere all at once is kind of a bit much right now because you're all in as fuck. And make a turret. Make a turret. Because you don't have enough scans to consistently scan every single 15 seconds. And if this guy keeps doing DTs on you every time, you're probably going to have problems. No, I'm going to pass. Yeah, I got to do another replay analysis after this one again. So I won't be done until probably like almost 1 in the morning or like 12:45 my time. And then I'm going to go make dinner after that because I already have dinner like started.
Ready for dust off.
So there's another scan. And now you only have 1 scan left. You literally have 1 scan left. You'll have a second scan coming up shortly after that. But I definitely would say you need to make turrets. The fact that you pulled SCVs was fine. I'm not against you pulling SCVs overall. Like just to kind of break this game down fully. If your overall plan, if your first timing fails, is you're just going to pull SCVs, I would say just do it in the beginning, honestly. If you don't want to even have a follow-up, pull SCVs when all your tanks are alive, and you'll have a much higher chance to kill the Terran. Or to kill the Protoss as the Terran. But just remember, you don't have to pull SCVs if your first timing fails. It's not great if it fails, obviously. But you can still resort into drop harass. You still can. And like it's obviously multi-prong because he'll have blink and shit, so you have to be really careful. Overall, though, your game is pretty solid. Not bad, especially if you're diamond. Like your micro is definitely your strong point of your gameplay. Your composition that you've given yourself was not bad either. A couple Marauder, mostly Marine, some tanks, some medevacs, and now you're even going into Liberator. And the Liberators are actually really nice when you compare with all of this. They're really good. I think that the one thing you fucked yourself on though was also losing the way you use the Raven. I think your Raven usage could use some work. You definitely got to fix your Raven. But other than that, you did a pretty good job overall. And yeah, just remember if you do go 5 racks before 3rd CC, like you definitely need to get damage done, otherwise you're fucked. Like, so I would say don't be shy to pull SCVs before you fail the first timing if you really want to commit to that hard, because this is definitely fucking committed. You don't have to pull SCVs, but if you don't pull SCVs, here's the thing: the way let me explain it like this, because what I'm saying makes a lot of sense, but I feel like I haven't explained it like this yet, and this will probably make sense of why I'm telling you to do what I just said. The way you moved in with your tanks the first time, how you didn't even siege as a leapfrog formation, you just straight up went into it and you burned your fucking Raven energy. That would make more sense to be that fucking aggressive if you pull SCVs with it. Because your SCVs are the buffer and every second counts and you need to just go and you need to get into his face like immediately. But you don't have to be that aggressive if you didn't pull your SCVs the first time. So the way I told you to micro it the first time would make more sense if you don't pull SCVs. You actually gradually siege your tanks forward once you're in his territory. And you lead with bio when you're in your territory to make sure you're not going to run into him. And then you scan ahead when you're in his territory to make sure you're not going to run into him. But you need to siege your tanks before the fight happens. Because the way you siege your tanks is why you lost so hard. 2 times. There and there. You got fucked twice. You got like really limited amounts of tank fires off, which is really bad. But if you fix those things, if you know, maximize whatever style you want to go for, fix that shit, you'd have an even better chance to like crush Protoss with your first push rather than your second push. This is a game from 2 pro players in a tournament. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the micro is pretty fucking good on the Terran side. Like, when I was watching the Reaper, I was like, Jesus Christ, that Reaper is crazy. Either way, though, cool. Definitely want to do everything I just said if you want to be making more sense of what you're doing, I would say. This was kind of like the SCV pull was kind of like a fucking... It was like, oh, well, fuck me, right? I'm just going to go for this now. But I feel like the chances are higher that it's going to fail if the Terran lost all their tanks. And, like, now you're going again. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. Apparently this was Hero Marine versus Max Pax. Doesn't matter either way, I don't care. But yeah, cool. Good shit. Nice. Awesome. I will see you guys in the next one, whatever it might be. And until then, much love. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And yeah. Bye, guys. See ya. Bye.